Right here, we get to see Nate Element Van Life's girlfriend in a bikini as she jumps into a lake. You know, I'm just saying, everybody knows that. You get more views with a beautiful woman, scantily clad, and he probably got a few extra views on that. I don't know, man. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about, not Element Van Life. What is her name? Shannon? I think that's the girlfriend's name. I can never remember. Anyway, we have the RV park money pit there, the odd couple, the RV odd couple, John and Mercedes there. Very good video. Check it out. Where they're buying that RV park there in northern Alabama, and there's a lot of stuff. They have to deal with. A lot of stuff they have to deal with. It turns out that the park is actually older, or it was abandoned longer than they thought. They thought it was only, sitting there abandoned for 3 years, but they now find out that it was abandoned for 9 years. So a lot of the structures there at the park are a lot older than they originally thought, and they're really now trying to decide whether they need to be torn down or they're rehabable. So they've got a lot of costs involved, not only just buying the park, but also there's a lot of work to be done to upgrade it. Parks that were built in the 70s, it's 70s stuff. People want more modern stuff today. Sometimes they want air conditioning in the cabins and Wi-Fi in the cabins, and a lot of these cabins, they have roof leaks and some mold, and some of them are just ready to get torn down. So John and Mercedes are dealing with all that. And then another big issue when you're renovating these old cabins is electricity. People today want, they need more electricity, and the wiring in a lot of these old cabins is pretty well shot and maybe chewed up by critters. So there's a lot of issues they're dealing with now, and looking at renovating that park there, and how much that's going to cost. And then the other issue that John says that's also a big thing is getting people to work. I mean, there's a labor shortage right now, because of the pandemic, whatever. There's hard to find electricians and drywall contractors and stuff like that. And he's saying that there's a job shortage, there's product shortages. It's hard to get equipment. It's hard to get, stuff you need to do the upgrades. It's hard to find the people. So yeah, so they're finding a lot of issues there about it. Anyway, so again, I thought, hey, this is a lot of content for John and Mercedes there for the RV Odd Couple, and it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out here. But it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work to get this park shipshape for the 2020s, right? There's Bella the Wonder Dog there. One of the great places in Pennsylvania to go hiking and exploring is this part of the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike there. They rerouted a good chunk of the Pennsylvania Turnpike there in central PA a number of years ago, and then abandoned the disused part, and a lot of hikers and bikers and campers and explorers love to check out this area. It's all very popular in lore there on YouTube exploration channels, and of course Dave's RV Life and Bella have to go explore it. I've always wanted to go up there and take a look at it. It's got a lot of crazy graffiti inside. Ooh. And anyway, some good stuff there from Dave's RV Life, doing the Pennsylvania exploration trips there in good old, you've got a friend in Pennsylvania, and it's definitely Dave. Maybe Morgan should watch this. Black Bigelow there is reviewing a 2021 Ford Bronco. Yeah, you see quite a few of them around here in the foothills of western North Carolina. It seems to be selling quite well. I've heard a lot of people say it's not a good vehicle, and the reviews on it are kind of mixed. But anyway, check it out. Black Bigelow. And does he think Morgan should buy one or not? Could she afford it? I don't know, man. Do not know where Unstoppable Morgan is right now. There are a lot of people guessing. My guess was somewhere around eastern Tennessee, up in the mountains or something like that. But we had one member of the Camo Army thought they saw her Bronco there in northern Georgia. Again, who knows? If you think you've seen Morgan around, think you've seen her Bronco with a big air conditioner hanging off the back, Let me know, CamoDavidGMX.com. At least we'll keep an idea out there. Keep an eye out for her. We got a Gone with the Winds, a very interesting video here. Check it out. They are sailing around over to New Zealand there from their place in Tonga or wherever it is. And big storms and rough winds and waves. Good video there. But it is also, it's 30 minutes long, and then you have to continue watching it in a future video. So I don't know. I was like, whatever, we gotta wait. We gotta wait. We got Indigo Traveler there continuing his journey in Libya. So, that's cool. Yeah, we don't see too many nomads in Libya, do we? I don't know, man. Let's do some letters here on the 4th of July, 2021. Dave RVATX says, Dave, you really call the Travado a Winnebago. Dude, if you're going to comment on RV channels, you probably should learn how to pronounce Winnebago. It's not Winnebago, it's what you say Winnebago, and I say Winnebago. It's Winnebago. Hey, we're talking about hurricane, now tropical storm Elsa, coming up the west coast of Florida. SC1212 Abel says, we are leaving Alabama and headed back to Key Largo. Have to get my sailboat out of the water and back on the trailer and move it to a safe location. We will probably stay in Key Largo at our condo. Seems like this storm is just going to be a big rainmaker. Again, they say the top winds in it, at least as of midday on Sunday, the 4th, were 60-ish miles an hour, which again, they're not hurricane strength, but 60-mile-an-hour winds aren't fun if you get hit with them just right, Yeah, we're talking about burned out nomads. JB says, sometimes when you get burned out, you may go off the deep end, rent a house, fill it full of arcade games, dream about getting the world's largest Mickey Mouse collection. Who are you talking about, JB? Who could that be? Ike Reed says 65-mile-an-hour winds, I guess down there in Florida, are strong enough to blow over a little Jeep filled with blankets, fans, and a preacher nomad. Now, who are you talking about, Mike? Who could that be? People are talking about people. I have no idea who they might be. No idea at all. Mom says, should all nomads have to pay a universal life support tax? Then they can travel on better roads. Well, pretty much in America, you got to be a resident of somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a residency and a driver's license and somewhere, whether it's South Dakota or, the escapees parked there in, eastern Tennessee. You got to be registered and you pay taxes there. But I've always said we should have a nomadism state where you don't have to be in any of the 50 states, just be a state of nomadism, and then they would have their own stuff. I don't know, man. Nomad X says the fundamental problem is that after a while, nomadic life is just as boring as sticks and bricks life. Ricky adds to that, especially when you stop moving. That's very true. We're saying how a lot of nomads right now are pretty dull, I mean, they've been doing YouTube channels for a couple years now, and now they're at a point where, what else can they say? Where else can they go? It's just, and then they realize, okay, well, I got so many new subs this year, so they haven't seen all my old crap, so I can just do the same old things over and over again. We see that a lot, especially with some of these explorer channels. How many times have they been to the Ripley's, believe it or not, museum in, New Orleans? It's like my 5th time there, Jeez. Mark Madden says every time he watches YouTube, he's getting black and white monochrome videos. Anyone else getting this issue? I don't get, maybe you're watching on one of those old tube TVs from the 1950s, the old black and white set. That'd be funny if someone were to pipe YouTube into one of those real old TVs like Shango 66, that guy out there in California who repairs and restores old tube televisions from like the 60s and 50s. He should put some modern YouTube on there and see what it looks like in black and white. Judge Jenny says, why are his fingers always bandaged? Rich Life from Road Trips did talk about that with me while we were having subs there at Jersey Mike's. He said when he's home and he's not in the van, he's very nervously biting on his hands. That's one of his nervous habits, and he bites on his hands. And he says he doesn't do that when he's in the vehicle, but he does when he's at home there in his little town there in eastern North Carolina, and that's why his fingers were bandaged. He did explain that to me. So anyway. All right, folks. Well, anyway, that ought to do it for a little bit of letters. You have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July. Stay safe tonight, and, yeah, be careful. Just be careful. You have a wonderful rest of your Independence Day, USA. Flag under.